Hey everyone, Jared James here, and I have really exciting news, guys. Our next mastermind is coming up April 2nd and 3rd. We're going to do it at the MGM Grand in Vegas. I know a lot of you wonder why we don't do these more. A lot of it's my fault. It's because of my scheduling and finding the time to really do this, because of how much time goes into this, right? The mastermind, for those of you that aren't aware, is for those of you that really want to take your business to that next level, right? You hear me say things like you either run a business or you run around, and that sounds great, but this is where we really get under the hood and sit in a suite for 2 days with myself, with our team leader coach, Rick Fuller, who runs the #1 team in the Sacramento and San Francisco areas of California. Our director of coaching, Reagan, who literally runs her business and lives out of Mexico because she's gotten to the place where she's running her business now and doesn't have to be there day to day. And the mastermind of the place is where we sit in the suite, we get under the hood, we have our laptops open, and we go through the whole process of what it means to run a real estate business, all the way from here, all the way to there, right? And what you'll notice is we have a lot of people who come back over and over again, because depending on where you are in your business, you hear different sections differently based on where you are in your business. So some of you need to know, what's my next hire? How do I hire correctly? How do I pay people correctly? What systems and processes do I need? How do I replace myself? How do I create a saleable asset? How do I expand and have multiple locations? There's all these, all the way from the bottom to the top that we do, where this is something where it's not the kind of content we can cover from a stage at the Advance, or I can do a keynote when I'm hired somewhere. This is more of the roll up your sleeves, next. What are the smaller things? What is the next thing you do that you can only do when you're sitting in a suite with jeans on and really just more of a down to earth, okay, here's how this happens. Let me answer your specific question. Now, what's really cool about this mastermind is that, yes, we're going to cover all the stuff that we cover usually, right? How to grow the business, how to hire, the culture perspective, the systems and processes perspective, all of that kind of stuff. But now we know the market's shifting, and we're going to talk about what specific stuff needs to shift within your business in order for it still to be that predictable business that you want it to be in a changing, shifting market. I'm also going to do a whole thing just on social. I'm going to do a whole thing, a deep dive just on your content library and what that looks like in order to get that visibility that you need, to give people the chance to know you, KNOW, so they have a chance to say no to you, NO, right? How do you become the person who gets the most at-bats in your area, the actual specific ins and outs of what that looks like so that you're getting the views you need to make that happen. We're going to go very deep dive on these topics, again, in a way that you can't do unless you're sitting in a small group in a suite in Vegas, in a way that you just can't do with a large stage with hundreds or even thousands of people there. This is where you do that. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for those of you that want to take advantage of it and really want to see your business go to that next level and take that next step. For those of you that feel like you've climaxed, you've hit that place where it's like, I'm just doing the same thing. I'm running myself ragged. I don't know what the next step is. I'm burning myself out. This is where you come to figure out what that looks like and be surrounded by people who are teaching it and who have been there before, that know what those next steps are, so you can create the freedom you want, not just financial freedom, but freedom even within your life and your business based on what you're doing on a regular basis. This is where we do that. April 2nd, April 3rd, MGM Grand in Vegas. I highly recommend you do this. This is not for everyone. I want to be clear. This is not a buy a small ticket. The investment is $5,000 plus the price of you coming, whatever that is, your ticket, your hotel, your food, whatever that is. But it is honestly, there's a difference between investing and spending. This is an investment. Now, while it is a tax write-off, this is an investment in you. You know, it always sounds corny to say that's less than a transaction in our business for what can come after, but it's also true, right? And when you look at the testimonials we have from the people who come to the mastermind and what happened in their business and how they've grown an actual organization now, I almost think that we're charging too little. That's probably going to change at some point. When you look at half the room is filled with people who have already been there before, but they just keep coming back time after time, it gives you an idea of the level of content, the level of expertise, the level of knowledge that's in that room. That you want to take advantage of. When you look at the individual Facebook groups we have for each mastermind we've had over the years, and how they're all still active and all still helping each other, and how, you know, 6 months down the road, someone's at a different place now, and now they're going back into the group. What do I do at this point? Does somebody have that you know, that template, or somebody have that description that they talked about? Does somebody, you know, everything we talk about, you're going to get, whether it's for you now or it's for you in 6 months. It's a gradual process. You know, I'm a big believer that anything that can be built overnight can be torn down overnight. And so we want to help you build that real estate business, that organization, not just running around going chaotic, that business, that organization, step by step by step. And so a lot of you need to get off the fence. And when I say a lot of you can't come because there's only so many seats, right? It's in a suite. It's however many we can fit in that suite. So if that's you, get off the fence, guys. Go to jaredjamestoday.com/mastermind. jaredjamestoday.com/mastermind. Depending on where you're watching this, there's a link you can click. There's some kind of a button, something you can do, but get off the fence. If you have questions, go to connectwithjared.com. Shoot me a message on Instagram or Facebook or wherever you happen to be. This is my favorite thing that we do as a business because we get to face-to-face help so many people on such a level. And I get to stay in touch with them over the years and see what happens to their business. Not just the explosion of business, but the explosion of time that they can have and their knowledge base on what they're doing and the network that they create by doing it. If you're thinking about it, this is probably for you, okay? $5,000 a person, limited seats. Don't wait. They're going to get sold out. Limited seats. It's always sold out. We don't do this enough times just because of my schedule. So jaredjamestoday.com/mastermind, April 2nd and 3rd. Make sure you're there if you want to learn how to run a business and not just run around. I'll see you guys there. It's going to be amazing. See you in Vegas.